So this is super easy, but this is one of the best ways to keep your cast net nice and soft. And this is all you're going to need: your cast net, bucket, about a half a cup or a cup of fabric softener, and some water. So all we're going to do is dump fabric softener in the bucket, fill it up with water, and then I'm using this 12-foot cast net to show you guys. This is a mullet net, but you know, this works for any kind of net. And this is basically like, you want to do this, you know, I don't know, once a month. It'll keep your cast net soft, because you can see if your cast net gets all, it's like it feels dried out and brittle and it's really sticky. This will get rid of that and make it nice and soft. So we're just going to fill this bucket up. All right, now the way that I like to do this is, you know, you can just go ahead and put the cast net in there any way you like if you want, and put like a lid on the bucket. But I like to go ahead and take your line, put it in first, and then put the horn of the net in first, and kind of fold it onto itself, and then actually take all the weights and set them on top of the net, so that keeps all the net under the water. And you're just going to leave it in here for, you know, I'd say don't leave it in there more than a day. I usually just do it overnight. So we'll let this sit overnight, and then we'll come back and we'll hang the net up. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and dump this out. And you want to rinse it out really good. You want to try to get all of the fabric softener out of the net. So we'll go ahead and fill this up, you know, 2 or 3 times and empty it out. And then we'll empty it out. And the last time I do this, I'll go ahead and take the cast net out, just like that. And I'll go ahead and extend the cast net out like that. And go ahead and lay the cast net out, and then rinse it out really well when it's on the ground. You want to try to get it as clean as you can, because if you leave too much of the fabric softener in there, then when you go to throw it, it'll be really slippery and it'll be hard to hold on to. And you can already see how the net wants to lay down flatter, and it's not really dry and cracky and kind of brittle is how they feel when they've been sitting out in the sun for a while, or if you haven't done this to them in a while, they get kind of brittle. And when you go to throw it, they like to stick to each other. All these little knots in the net like to stick on each other, and it'll cause you to make all sorts of bad throws. So now that we got it all rinsed up, next step is hanging it up. This is a good time to get any knots that you might have in there out of your line. That. Alright, so the last step is you want to take your cast net while it's still wet, and you want to hang it up somewhere in the garage or somewhere where it's in the shade. And I have these hooks on the ceiling that I use to keep rods up there. You know, anything will work as long as it's not going to rip your net. And the main thing that you want to know when you're hanging your net up is you don't want the weights to be off the ground. You don't want it to be like this, because then you're putting way too much stress and stretch on the knots that are in here. So you want the weights to just barely be sitting on the ground and hang it like that. Alright, so there you go. This is what I like to do. I'll just loop one end over that hook, and then I'll put that one through the other hook so it can't move. Put your line up there, and you got your net hanging. You know, just a little bit of tension on the net to get it, when it dries out, it'll have that nice straight line in it. You don't want, you know, if your net's in your boat all the time in a bucket or whatnot, and you don't ever rinse it out, you know, your net eventually is going to get all, it's going to get all crusty and sticky. And if you do this with the fabric softener, you're going to throw better throws with your net. It's going to tangle up way less, and it'll open up way easier. So I'm going to let this dry until it's completely dried out, and then I'll go out back and I'll show you how I throw this mullet net. Alright, so the net's all dried out and it's nice and smooth now. So if any of you guys want to know, I'm going to show you how I throw the big mullet nets. And it's really simple. You start with the rope and we make a loop knot. And if you're right-handed, you want to use your left hand to load the line. So I'll take smaller loops about this big in my left hand. I'll go ahead and get the whole line in there. And then I'll grab the horn of the net and I'll kind of walk it. I'll stretch the net out like this, make sure it's not folded on top of itself. And then the same hand that you got your line in, you're going to grab underneath the horn, just like that. And you're going to take about 2.5, 3 feet of the net, and you're going to grab it again underneath with the same hand. So now you got it in that hand again. You're going to lift the net up, straighten it out, and then come down right about here, just under your waist. And you're going to do that one more time, just like that. So now you can see I'm holding the whole net with just my left hand. I got the horn, the line, and the net in there. So then from there, I'll take the side closest to me and grab a weight and throw this over your left shoulder, the same shoulder that you're holding the net with. So throw that over your shoulder just like that, and then take the outside of the net and I'll go ahead and put that over my knee. And you want to just open the net over your knee just like that. You want to fling it out, and that'll untangle it as you load it up. So just like that, you want to get about half the net in there, about there. And then from there, you're going to come over here to this line coming down your shoulder, and you're going to grab one of the lead lines about halfway down here. You grab one of the leads, and you're going to keep that lead in between your fingers right here. And then you're going to scoop the rest of this net with the rest of your hand. So you got it in your fingers, you're going to come underneath and scoop up the rest of that net. And then I like to give it a little fling. And now you can see the net's basically open already. So when you throw it, you're just flinging it wide open. So if you want to come over here, so I'll show you how you do it. Basically, you're going to use the momentum of the net to throw it. You don't want to come back here steady like this and just try to throw it, because you have no momentum. You're going to take the net, fling it, and then when it's coming forward again, that's when you want to give it the throw. So here we go. And as you do it, you want to throw it like a frisbee with your right hand. And that's going to be the last thing you let go of, is that weight that you're holding with your right hand. So here we go. There it is. As you can see, the net opened up pretty much perfect. I even caught the tree a little bit. But if you use the fabric softener when you clean your net, it's going to open up easier every time for you. It's not going to dry rot in the sun, and you'll be able to catch more fish. So thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time.